This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena, my favorite colors, my favorite cards. Where I'm at in the blue-white control game just before the end of Shark Week and a half. This is Fable Tribal. Actually, there is a card in here you probably haven't seen. It is a card that is in the Brawl deck only, and it's from the Eldraine Brawl decks. And it proves that Eldraine really is the most busted set ever when even their Brawl deck cards are insanely good and nobody's really playing it. And that is Banish into Fable. So if you want to spend your wild cards on this, it's not legal for much longer, but maybe you have one sitting around somewhere from the Brawl decks when those came out. And when you cast this spell from your hand, copy it if you control an artifact. Copy it if you control an enchantment. You may choose new targets. On its own, it's 6 mana to return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand and create a 2/2 White Knight creature token with vigilance. If you copy that 3 times, 2 times, 3 total targets, you bounce 3 things. You make 6/6 vigilance worth of stats. That is pretty epic at instant speed. If you think about that, if you broke that down, if this were a 2 mana card, return target permanent, non-land permanent to owner's hand, create a 2/2 Knight token with vigilance, that would be busted. That's like way better than Brazen Borrower, right? Because it puts the 2/2 on the field. And you essentially get 3 of those, but you have to get to 6 mana and you have to have an enchantment or an artifact. So shout out to a streamer named Mythic Matt who was playing this in pretty high Mythic in the middle of the night once last week. And that's where I got the idea. The rest of the list is my own. And I get to pull out the Archon of Sun's Grace, which I think is the best way to play blue-white at the moment, along with Nico. Pretty cool combination that can generate an overwhelming board presence. And then on top of that, we're just using a bunch of enchantments and artifacts to trigger the Archon and set up Banish into Fable. And of course, one of the enchantments we get to use is the one and only, the Shark Typhoon. Get your CGB Shark token. Time is running out at CoolStuffInc.com on Shark Week and a half. It's almost over. Now, the rest of the deck is just cool enchantments and artifacts to keep the opponent in check, draw cards, and get into a good position. There's no board wipes. That's tough, but I keep on finding that a lot of the decks just have board wipe insurance, you know? It's not that good against Selfless Savior. It's not that good against Annex. Even though we have some ways to deal with those, like glass caskets and stuff, it just doesn't work out nearly as well as slamming an Archon. The board wipes used to be in the spot where Saw It Coming now rests, and I find the counter spells way more important because I play so much Yorion. Like the Yorion, and when I say Yorion, I mean Emergent Ultimatum Sultai. That deck just keeps rising to the point where I play it 3 or 4 times a day. So every deck I make has to account for a way to beat it. If it can't beat it, if it can't end the game on like turn 5 or counter the Emergent Ultimatum, I can't play the deck. I have countless brews that have been deleted from this channel, the records lost to eternity, because they just can't beat that deck. And I'm playing against it so much in Mythic. It's like I just wake up and I look at the decks I could play, and it's like I don't want to build new decks. I just want to tune existing decks to further beat the very obvious meta that is Sultai, Emergent Ultimatum, and Mono White. And this deck is okay at that. Banish into Fable is actually pretty fun for completely resetting an Ultimatum on its own. And we have Raven's Warning to access the sideboard, which has a number of answers. Some of the best ones for Ultimatum are just Neutralize. So you know most of the cards, but it's kind of fun that we have this card from Eldraine that nobody's playing, and it's still freaking insane. So I look forward to showing it off. The deck is called Fable Tribal because we have all the Fable passages and the 4 Banish into Fables. So just strictly fabling them to death. Today's video is dedicated to Tyler Morus. Tyler Lemorus? Lemorus? I don't know. Last name, but thank you very much for renewing Twitch Prime and leaving a comment on the video. You out there with an Amazon Prime sub, please consider linking that to Twitch Prime and subscribing to the channel. It supports the channel. It means a lot to me. Thank you to everybody who's done that. We're doing a few more dedications for a few more videos. If you're lucky, just you know, stay till the end, put that you stayed till the end. Put your Twitch name that you subscribed with, and put that you subscribed with Twitch Prime. Leave a comment with those things. You might get a video dedicated to you. So in dedicating this video, we're going to continue the sweet, sweet Snowlands. Just a reminder that you can get those in the game. You have to do this awkward thing of snow covered, not collected, cosmetics, and land. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to do the holy trifecta of hit land, hit this for not collected, and hit this for card styles. And you too can select some sweet snow-covered lands. Let's grab a swamp. Which swamp art is better? I'm going with this one. Boom. That one's dedicated to Tyler. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and please go renew Twitch Prime. Now let's dive in. Let the Fable nonsense begin. Unkeepable hand. All right. So what's the worst card against them? The Raven's Warnings, Tome, and Saw It Coming are all good. Do we put away the Birth and hope to get there on land? I'm going to do that. Make your play. Shut up. You're the enemy. All right, let's resolve the tome. Oh, we drew the land. That's pretty cool. But yeah, let's get the tome on the field in case they're playing blue-black control and don't have a good way to remove it. All right, looking for land. Not borrower, so good scry. Found land. Don't think we need... We could just resolve this, which is pretty good. I was going to say, I don't think we need Saw It Coming open. If we don't need to have it available, we can just play the warning and put them on, like, put them on kill this bird duty. Plus we get to go fetch something that they won't like. Oh, okay, they're just playing stupid Sultai. I thought they would be interesting, but they're not. I thought it would be a blue-black matchup. Loser. Okay. I also like the Sultai deck. I'm just annoyed because it's the only deck a lot of people are playing right now. Let's make them answer it again. If they blow this up, it's going to be... Okay, they didn't. Cool. I was going to say, it's going to be a good demonstration of what I hate about Raven's Warning, which is that you have to connect to get the card. And the main reason I think it's a really bad card generally. All right. We got an Ugin, an Emergent Ultimatum, and a Yorion to contend with, as well as a Soul Shatter. So we know what we're up against. We also know they probably have an Alrund's Epiphany. Let's see if they force us to use some counter magic. They don't have the right mana for... They don't have green. They're missing a green. All right, you got your birds. I got birds too. It's fine. Nightmare. It's fine. Makes us play a little bit carefully with our Omen here. It also it doesn't threaten what we take with the warning, actually. Peck. I guess we'll take these. We're missing land, and I really do want my land drop. And I guess the ECD probably gets taken, so we can save it for later. Let's just take you. That'll help us hit land. card that goes on top of the library. We could just name Ugin with this spyglass and shut that off forever. This is also an interesting play most people aren't ready for and they don't have a way to deal with in their hand. Does it work on the ultimatum though? I think we'd know if it did, because I think what you do is you exile those cards then cast them, so I don't think it actually works. We probably just keep another counterspell, right? I mean, Spyglass on Ugin does preemptively shut down Ugin, which is probably better than having to hold up mana for it. We can play a Nico. They can Soul Shatter it, so that's not great. We can play a Casket. I think we just... What they're probably going to do is take this Omen. They might take the Nico or the other Omen, but I doubt it. So, we just say go. If they find the green, they might go for this ultimatum after they see we don't have a counter. They take the Nico. Nico, that surprises me. That strikes me as see Planeswalker get scurred. They want to flicker the Nightmare. I don't think I care. It's fine. Should have attacked first probably, because now I'm definitely going to block, because the Nightmare's coming back. Okay, so resolve this. Play this Omen. Keep both, I guess? Nah, we do need to draw land. Cards like this are just going to get taken, I think. Although we can draw another card right here, rather than play Omen of the Sun. But we're going to play the Spyglass next turn. I guess we could still draw another land after the Tome. Tome's pretty good. Okay, they took a Nico last time. Double Emergent Ultimatum. Well, that's about to get ugly. But they don't have green yet. Would you like to take Nico again? Really scared of Nico. Oh, they drew it. Okay, well, I guess they have to target the Spyglass. Lucky top deck. What can you do? Opponents just keep cheating against me today. I'm a victim! And we don't draw land! It does not happen. But at the same time, we're also not drawing counter spells, which we need. There's a land, there's an ECD. I guess we can... Having ECD around for the Ugin is really good, plus we need to solve this Yorion problem. So, fine. Everything about this is fine. Remember, they still don't have the green for the ultimatum. They're gonna get it now with binding because they're really good at drawing magic cards. If we can ever Yorion, it'll be a good one. Uh-huh. My turn. Okay, they're still missing land until next turn, then I'm sure they'll start casting those things. Do I want to draw land that badly? I guess playing... Oh yeah, I do. Playing an ECD here would be sweet. Because then we can put off the next ultimatum. I need it to be untapped though, deck. God. Why deck? Why don't you ever understand me anymore? But hey, buying a Yorion for the ECD isn't bad. There it was. All right, so next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 to protect. But we're probably going to play this. So I guess we'll bottom. I guess we'll buy. I guess we'll pass. And we'll lament that missed land drop that probably cost us the game. So how do they do it? They now have options like Ugin. And go for ultimatum, we counter. We try to draw a negate, which is one of the only things that can keep us in the game now. And they are starting to play defensive. Oh, okay, draw. All right, so can't play ECD and saw it coming because we're still short of land. Let's dig like we're desperate. Let's play one of these caskets. We're still gonna lose. All right. I guess we're playing Yorion next turn, and then they're gonna play Ugin and wipe the board. Another counterspell, though, could save the world. I guess we could Yorion into it. We could definitely Yorion into it. Yorion! And we got that Yorion off before the Ugin destroyed it all. I guess we should just get a damage out of these. Because Ugin might wreck everything. Let's sack first. This is where the scries might be really important. Alright, so we're going to scry. Get as far down as we can to find it. Nice. Nice. Alright, dig, baby, dig. Maybe there's still hope for me in this world. Nico and Yorion is pretty much a lock. So let's take these cards. Although finding one more counterspell would be nice. It's definitely not required. Do we have to counter Ugin? Ugin can exile this whole board. But is that fine? That's not fine. That's not fine. What am I talking about? All right, 3 saw it coming's down. Let's see, 1, 2. Let's be careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can play the Nico. We can replay the Yorion. Then we don't have anything left. So yeah, we bottom this. Borrower. Borrower is good in the midst of an ultimatum. I kind of want to Nico loop the Yorion though. We could lose everything to another Ugin, but I don't think that's going to happen. How many Ugins can you run in this kind of deck? So close. So close to dead. Kiora best the sea god. Good game! Yeah! Oof. This hand against aggro. It could be good, it could be bad. Let's find out what happens. At least it interacts and puts things on the board. And our opponent opens without a 1-drop. Life is okay. Feels okay, man. Double black. Double black that could make a play, checks for priority, then plays freebooter. Weird. You were gonna look at my hand anyway. Like, what are you doing? Raven's warning, saw it coming. How you want to do this? Raven's warning, huh? All right, I think I'm gonna make a controversial play. Foretell saw it coming, so they can't take it in the future. Because when you leave saw it coming, it's not because you want to play around counter spells forever, it's because you plan to take it with a different card. And that's exactly what just happened. Opponent really leveraging going first here. But it's all a house of cards, and we can make it tumble. But we don't have to be in a rush to do it. Rankle is a problem. So I think I need to leave mana open for that. We also have Brazen Borrower, who can try to flash in and intercept a freebooter, but we do know that they have removal, because that's how black decks play. So we let these hits come in, take our time. Let the game get long. Keep them off any plays that get them too far ahead. Build up resources, fight them later. We can bounce that. They don't have anything in their graveyard yet. It's not very scary. Let's go ahead and send it back. There's Banish. There's an artifact. Do we play Raven's Warning when it's not going to get through? No. This makes sure that we'll have an enchantment and artifact for casting Banish. Lurrus returns, but we'll be able to return 3 things to the owner's hand. Okay. Let's go ahead and play the Borrower. Get in there. Say go. I'm ready. Banish is ready. Let's try to get him on end step or in response to something. This is fine, I think. So if we block, they get to kill one of our walls. I guess I don't care. Oh, now we bounce them, right? Because now, if we bounce them, oh, we let this happen, then bounce with that on the stack? No. We bounce now, and then if they double freebooter, what? Nothing. Okay, let it go. Let it be. Patience. Patience. If they want to kill a wall with a dead weight, who cares? I don't need that wall very much. And now we do it, right? Because we don't want them to be able to, in response, kill our last wall. So they can take one of these back with a freebooter, but we can play 2 warnings. And we can beat them down with knights. They can also resolve Lurrus, but then that's not going to fight the knights very well either. And then we get 2 warnings. Yeah, what happened? Why is your deck back in your hand? Oh, yeah. All right. They've decided they're going after one of these. Takes the tome. Okay. 6 points. Indeed. It's a lot of land. Could just buy the Yorion. Like, playing the Raven's Warning isn't great because of the freebooter, and I don't know if I really want to saw it coming what they do, because what can they do? I guess if they have a land, they can lure us, deadweight one of them, freeboot, get the other, and then we don't get to attack. But I guess these start ticking, which is important. Let's empty out the hand. And none of this solves the Knights. The Knights get to keep attacking in this scenario too. Also, we can get Dance of the Manse and hit them really hard with the warnings. Just stack Dance of the Manses on them. Yeah, they're going to want to take out the bird, right? Because they don't want me to draw. So they go after the bird, so we still have the Knights. Wow, that's interestingly aggro. That's a big card. Hey, it's Shark Typhoon week. Let's slam it. Mono black, what you got? It's Shark Attack week. And I haven't slammed enough Shark Typhoons in recent games. I'm below quota. Still going after the bird. But now they get cards for it, which is really bad. And they're actually up 5 cards to none. So we got some work to do. But we get 2 cards of our choice. We better start coming back. What a machine. What a machine. So, does blowing them up do anything? Oh my god. What a master! What a master. Okay, Raisin B. So, I sort of want to wreck their graveyard. Because I feel like if I kill their stuff, it's just going to come back. I could get the ECD, though. We're on 7. Counter, bounce, cast. We can do all that turn. Then we get the ECD. Yeah, we still have our Yorion. Oh, Ugin. Ugin's pretty good, but we don't have the mana. We need one more. I think I definitely... So Dance gets us the mana. All right, so first we'll get Ugin. Then we'll get Dance. Then we'll buy you. Then we'll pass turn. See how much our opponent walks into. Oh no, Ugin on top? They stacked it in the wrong order. No, they didn't. That's a bug. Nice. Nice. Nice bug. You want to go ham on this wall? Do ya? Okay. Here they come. Boing. Make 2/2. For your next trick. So do you think they have 2 Luris? I think there's a chance. But we're gonna fight anyway. Because I think it gets us significantly ahead. Just that they have to use more mana. draw a card with my hateful idol. We're gonna shuffle away our Ugin, aren't we? Yes, we are. Sad. We might draw something we can use. Oh wait, we won't. I should have just made a bigger shark. I'm on a roll right now. That was a couple misplays in a row. If you guys want to get testy with me. Let's see if the opponent can pull this off. We've got a lot of enchantments, a Yorion, a Shark Typhoon on the battlefield, and an Ugin somewhere in the library now that I'm sure we're going to draw off the top because the shuffler is fine. I think I can explain my plays. You see, I am what is called hungry. I have not eaten enough food today. I've lost a lot of games of Magic, and when I do that, sometimes I forget to eat, and I keep trying to grind it back, like the next win will save me and justify my work. And that's not what's happened. So, I don't have any food in my stomach. So I'm playing bad, which is a doom spiral of its own, and I need to stop doing that after this game. I'm sure I will. I'm sure that's going to happen. Okay. Opponent is way too aggressive. Like, do you see my life total? Now this shark gets to hit you. Nico! How you doing? Where you been? That's 2 cards because of 2 warnings. Call. Yep. All graveyard recursion. So we need to exile this squad. Killing it doesn't do too much. Opponent's kind of on empty. I guess they can Myers Grasp this. But we should probably make a huge shark. Hello, shards. All right, do we kill this and make them get it back? I guess. It gives them just more things to have to get back. We could also kill the Lurus and make them get that back, but then they get back that back and something else.
This reflects on your actions.
Now we have a bunch of shards to draw the card we set on top of our library with Raven's Warnings. Is this to get... Okay, I like it. They get to draw a card. They get to call the Death Dweller. They get that and a freebooter. Probably with Death Touch to fight off our 9/9. We can make it unblockable with Nico, but then it dies. No respect for Nico. So if they don't kill this 3/3, we just have make it unblockable, win. I really feel like they think they're going to block. Okay. All right, so we need some counter spells. Let's grab some counters. A lot of things I've done wrong this game. Let's not do this part wrong. There's a counter. There's a counter. Okay, play you, plus you. Over here, make you unblockable. Don't need any more.
Get in a shark. Throw you.
Die. blocking. Come on, guys. Do I look like I do math? Oh yeah. Let's party. Let's do this. Double tap land, always a little sad, but I think it's fine. Our opponent kept a turn 1 tapped castle. They're either a control deck or a sad white deck. Let's see which it is. I think we're pretty decent against mono white with a Brazen Borrower to play around their endless protection nonsense. That one's a frustrating one. Maybe we can run it into an Omen of the Sea. Ooh, I like this. Yes, let's set up a wall and make sure that we have untapped land on 3 to possibly play Omen. So did they just draw this Plains and their other land as another castle? Because they wouldn't keep a 1-lander, and why would they play a turn 1 tapped castle? I don't know. What's going on here? Annoying. All right. Do we play the warning? The casket's not going to work. We're going to have to somehow navigate their 1/1. So I think we say go and see what they do. Maybe they'll try to Sky Mall. Omen's okay. These games are always a lot tougher than they look. Okay, Heliod. They would have played a land first if they had one, right? I think so. Never mind. All right. Where are you putting the counter? Right there. Okay. Now let's see what you do. Put the counter on yourself. Okay. Now let's see what you attack with. Both. Okay. Here's the Omen. We'll get them all in on this Luminarch. We'll get the bounty off the board. And then we'll bounce it. Or exile it. What would we like to do to it? We have options here. None is like more mana efficient than the other. We can bounce the Heliod later. Let's casket. Hand it over. We've got them down to 2 cards. We do have to hit a land drop for the next 2 turns, but Banish is so good against them. They found a Lurrus. Alright, that little protection guy, I really do want to exile that somehow. Well, Lurrus was pretty unfortunate. Oh, we can bounce it back again, then they can protect it, attack, get a counter. We can Raven's Warning, so we can get in and draw a card and set up a way to deal with the situation. I like that a lot. Let's go. And bounce Lurrus now. Make them commit most of their mana next turn to a recast. Interesting, they don't. Are they going to block this? They're at 24, now they're at 27. This is scary. This is scary. But they don't have protection mana up. If we draw an untapped land off this little birdie, we're in such a good spot. Come on! That's not good. Now what? We got pretty unlucky, but we did drop our opponent to 26. They have to attack, and they have to hit something. It's possible I can make a shark and force them to sacrifice their bounty to protect their speaker. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. They might come charging in. They play a Lurrus. Okay. Activate a Heliod, sure. Everybody attacks. Let's make Shark. Now they actually, what they can do is they can first strike with this and then put a counter on the speaker, but then it would still potentially die. So let's do this. Let's see what happens. Okay, they were pretty smart. So they have this play, but they still want to protect their speaker, don't they? Because they get an angel? No, they don't. They do not want to protect their speaker. Are we really going to miss the untapped land again, though? We might. And they didn't recast. And we missed the untapped land again. But what do we have? We have Doomscar. Doomscar fixes a lot, but we don't have a way to draw it this turn. We can draw something that is 3 mana or less. Oof. 3 mana or less cards are not great. Heliod's Intervention can blow up the Sky Mall, for example. Ooh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I think it's Doomscar. Like, we can survive this turn. We're still at 21. Let's see how smart they are, and if they, like, believe that I have a sweeper, maybe they have something they can do about it. We do have the Fable to somewhat punish them, though, if they don't put enough pressure on me. They replay the speaker. They play another Alseed. Okay, they do not believe in this sweeper out of my sideboard. Here comes everybody. So I think we use this to absorb some damage. I don't think they have a Selfless Savior. I think they would have played it. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll take the chance. I guess if they have a Savior, maybe we can do something with the Banish. Down to 17. Another counter everywhere. Okay. I said speaker, I meant Selfless Savior. We got land? I'd love an untapped land, but I'm not turning away a Glass Casket. Card's pretty good. I wonder if this other card is another Lurrus. They always feel like doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna protect my creatures from white. That saves them from Doomscar, doesn't it? It doesn't. It's not how the card works. I guess I can see if you're new-ish to Magic that that is something that isn't necessarily obvious, for sure. So I get it. I get it. All right, so before they have protection available, let's just reset their whole board. They've got 40 life. Do you think we have to attack them to death, or do you think we can frustrate them to death? Sky Mall revisits. LOL. Give it. Hand it over. All right. 6 life a turn. We'll get there. We're definitely letting them replay Heliod. I'm not sure what I'm going to saw it coming, but it won't be Heliod. They have 2. So Heliod's right where we want Heliod to be. Opponent weighing their options here. They could, if they wanted to, they could give my knights lifelink until the end of this turn that is ending. More likely they're contemplating their life and their choices and whether or not it's worth living anymore. It's not, I would concede, but it is not for me to decide what my opponent shall do. It is for them to decide. I meant their MTG life. Hopefully that's somewhat clear. That dog's annoying. Let's just shut that dog down. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a sky noodling of epic proportions? You're in! Bing bong bong bong. Pretty good for permanence. Pretty good sky noodleage. There's no coming back now. I'm bottoming Doom Scars because we just don't need them. We have Banish it. We have Banish into Fable. We have a counter spell. We have a bunch of creatures on the board. When you're ahead on board, sweepers aren't the greatest. Our opponent has made a 1/1 creature. What will they do with this creature? Heaven only knows. They could take it to a sky mall, take it on a shopping trip. They could give it lifelink with Heliod, the Sun Crowned, and possibly put a +1/+1 counter on it one day. Let's go. I declare war. Opponent makes a creature. I mean, I take some amount of joy in this, not gonna lie. Send them all away. Away, more knights. Our opponent debates giving lifelink to one of the tokens as it leaves this earth. So it would have a moment of the sun, and then the opponent packs it in. We battle a trio of 8s. What could it mean? On the draw with some 6-drops, but they're the kind that help you come back when you're dying. I don't know about this. We're probably up against aggro. Nico can help a little. But these Banish into Fables. I mean, are we keeping a hand with 2 lands and 2 6-drops? If one of these were a Doomscar, it would be an easy keep. This is also pretty decent hand against any slow deck because we have a lot of selection. I usually end up talking myself into this hand. I mean, with a Tome and a Fable, I don't know if the Tome will be around that long, but we want it to be. All right, here we go. Dusk Wielder. Looks aggressive. Take 3, so pretty low on resources, and they play a 2-mana 1/1, so less aggressive. Elves, though, that's what these have in common. Possibly working on a party. A little bit of a brew. We don't get to see that all the time. Let's get this down because the life could be significant. And these 6-drops are good discard fodder. Elf Berserker. So probably not a party deck since that doesn't really play with the party mechanic. Okay. Strange collection of utility land. another disciple. Let's make an informed decision. Drawing land is nice. Alright, 2 Fables down. Our opponent has 3 very small creatures. We could play Raven's Warning. If they kill the creature, we are working on getting some kind of a sweeper eventually. If we play the Nico and minus it, the Nico will die. I think this is a warning. Nico is always a little better if you can wait a little longer, because you can buy some shards as well to offset the card disadvantage created by these disciples. If the opponent spends mana killing this 1/1, we're pretty happy. Bloodchief's Thirst is the most mana efficient, but if they pay 2 or 3 mana to kill it, probably takes away from them doing something else. Nightmare Shepherd. We need to find an answer for that. So now trading here is terrible. They just get it back and do something obnoxious. So Brazen Borrower would be very nice. Can we find one? No. But we can play Nico. Which can absorb some damage for us. We can make this birdie unblockable so that we get our card and we get to see their hand. And wow, they curve into Gray Merchant. We are so potentially dead. All right, actually next turn, what can we do? Can we exile everything somehow? We have to get rid of the Shepherd. If we don't get rid of the Shepherd, we have no chance in this game. Wow, their hand is like, for a mono black devotion curve out, their hand is really good. Ours turned out really anemic. We do have some life gain. They don't have a sack outlet. If we clear the Shepherd, we can do this. If we don't clear the Shepherd, the value is just overwhelming. They'll probably kill the Nico. So we need a way to exile the Shepherd and stay alive. We have 4 life on deck from the tome, so we can survive a few hits from these little nerds. But the Shepherd must die. What's in the sideboard? It's an enchantment creature, right? It is. We can kill it with the Heliod's Intervention. We also have an Elspeth Conquers Death, but we can't draw that at the same time. Then we still have to figure out how to manage the rest of our opponent's things, because we can gain some life and buy some time, but not much. The opponent thinking about ignoring Nico here. Actually, that would be a huge mistake, because then Nico can kill the Shepherd, and then Doomscar can finish the job. Like, what are you without your Shepherd? Surely you see it. Maybe they don't know how Nico can kill things. It isn't the most known thing on the card. All right, they ran it down to no timeouts, and it looks like they saw it. Maybe. At the last minute? Maybe? I'm kind of blown away by... Okay. They have committed, guys. They stepped up and made a commitment. All right, we're gonna have 5 mana, 3 mana left over, so we get the intervention. When do we use it? Because they can Agadeem's it back if they have 6 mana. Their last card in hand is an Agadeem's Awakening. Yeah, we'll put that right there. All right. Do we do it now? They could draw Malachor Rebirth. They've shown us that they run that card. For life, draw a card. And we'll see what they draw off the top. If they've had a good draw, so I mean, curved out exactly the way you want this deck to be. The only thing they're missing is like a Woe Strider. So let's see what they get. Does it save them? Also, the top of our deck still needs to save us. They have 6 points a turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still need a bailout. It doesn't duplicate twice, it duplicates once. But that's still really good. We can bounce... Man, is bouncing their Gray Merchant really the play? Is bouncing their Elves the play? I guess we let them into combat. Remember, they can get some of this back. They have an Agadeems. All right, so what do we bounce? See if they pay one. If they do, bouncing the Gray Merchant can be good, although they can pay 3 to replay it. God, this is close. And Gray Merchant's such a pain. Hey. They can set up lethal for next turn because I bounced the wrong things, I think. Let's see if they see it. We could find life gain. Any Raven's Warning would do. Any Omen of the Sun would do. Yep, play this. Oh, they got 2 of them. That's bad. God, I hate their deck. It's such crap. But we're losing to it. Always makes people feel good. Just slap me around with garbage. I hate their deck so much, though. Let's see if we lose. Saw It Coming can bail us out. Any life gain can at least give us a chance. Wow. Deck hates me. Are you kidding right now? 5 lands in a row? 6 lands in a row. Just, what are you supposed to do about that? What are you supposed to do? And we are back for the post-game wrap, and there were tears were shed, and, you know, there was joy, and there was pain. There were interesting games. I think what I like most about Blue-White in this format is how interesting the games are, and I do like the Nico Archon combination. I think Nico is an underrated Planeswalker. Banish is a pretty good card, but this could be Dream Trawler or Sublime Epiphany or various other things. But Banish really does help you in both the fights against aggro and the fights against ultimatums to some extent. You still have to deal with that pesky 8/8 sometimes from Kiora Best the Sea God, and All Run's Epiphany just never stops being a nightmare to deal with. So that is still a challenge. Maybe there's a version of this deck that can get negates into it as well and play an even more controlling game and give up on things like perhaps Omen of the Sun or Brazen Borrower, but I don't really want to play that deck. I like this deck quite a bit. Let's take a quick minute, instead of talking about exact card choices that we could move around, or the beauty and majestic Shark Typhoon, or the gorgeous and awe-inspiring Yorion. Let's just talk about meta. Because one thing I constantly want to do is make new decks, and I get some flack sometimes that my decks aren't very different, especially this season. I think it's the polarization created by the most powerful decks. Mono White is so specifically like kill you and hard to deal with and ignores certain kind of cards like destroy target creature. And Ultimatum just says either you have a blue card and you can counter this, or you can end the game on turn 5, or you lose. That cuts out a ton of the decks I want to play and want to brew with. A lot of like the mid-range decks that don't play blue that I want to mess around with, they just get completely cut out of the meta. And because of that, I think that a good amount of my videos, you're going to see me refining decks more than trying to find new decks until Strixhaven comes out. We're only about a month from that happening, which is pretty awesome. So endure with me for the next month or so. I'll probably be playing some decks that look very similar to decks I've already played, because I'm finding the tuning process more rewarding and fun right now than the brewing process. But I'm going to try to get the brews out there. You've noticed I've put up some Brawl decks, and you've noticed I put up some Historic decks. I want to keep doing that as long as I have time, because I want you guys to still, who want the brewer stuff, who want something different, I want you to still have access to something at least a little bit different. So trying to do both I'll probably catch the nasty side of some amount of comments anyway. That's just the way YouTube works. I expect that. But hopefully those of you who are sick of seeing a lot of similar cards can check out some of the historic content and the Brawl content and enjoy a bit more variety. And if you still have complaints to file, I guess you want too much. You still just want that Cleric's deck to be good, don't you? Yeah, I'm sorry. Not today. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. Go renew Twitch Prime. You're cool.